morning, Sloth. How are you, darling? Oh. We have a very full little thing here. How's it going, y'all? Alright. I think I need to descowl this thing today, probably. But we'll worry about that after book club. You know what I mean? We'll worry about that after. You love this cup? Thank you. It was, I got it as a wedding favor at my brother's wedding. They had all different cups and we all got to pick our favorite one. And they filled them all with like little packets to make tea or hot cocoa, and there was like a coffee bar for the night, so like everybody could stay up and fill their cups with coffee and everything. It was very sweet. And I use the cup weekly. I'd be happy to drink. Yes, it is. It is so dang cute. I completely agree with you, Liza. I got there early. It was a great idea. It was the best wedding favor I've ever seen. So I arrived early to the wedding for obvious reasons. Well, maybe not obvious, but I was in the wedding photos because it's my brother. And I saw the table of the wedding favors, and I looked at that cup, and my brother said, if you want that cup, you better hide it because it's first come, first serve. And so I took the cup and I hid it under the table so that after the wedding photos were over, I could get back and get the cup. I basically stole it, but whatever. It's my brother's wedding. I can do what I want, right? He told me to do it. It's only fair. Listen, it's what it is. Y'all, everyone has to do their own thing. And for me, I have to have the cupcake cup. Brother's coming in a clutch. Yeah, no, my brother's great. You guys, I'm obsessed. My brother's so awesome. You don't even know. He's a great brother. Morning. Baby girl's definitely showing. Yeah, she's making her presence known now. That's true. Distraction me. My baby started school today. Oh, Liz feels the same way. I don't know if Liz is in here yet, but she was crying this morning for her baby too. I'm some years away from that, so I'm okay right now. Although I think I would feel better if mine were external at least. Morning, Avery. How's everyone doing this morning? I know getting your babies off to school is hard. I know. I want comfort for all of you. Comfort for all. Nisa, tell me if you find any witchy books for us, because I looked and I didn't see any good ones. I went through it this morning when I got up. And it didn't seem like there was anything that fit what we were looking for. But who knows? I could be wrong. They didn't make witchy books their own category. I agree. My 2-year-old is lap eating a strawberry. Hi, baby. Hello. Hi, sweetheart. We're making coffee, which you probably don't like, but you might one day. You just might one day, kiddo. She plays with my slime. Oh, it's true. We make slime. Fun. It's true. We do make slime. It's my coffee happy dance. We make slime, we make coffee. That's pretty much it right now. Ah, yummy, yummy, yummy. Delicious. Delicious. I was gonna say delicious and nutritious, but I don't know if that's true, so I'm just gonna withhold saying that before I put out some false information. Ooh. All right. How's everyone doing this morning? Ooh, I don't know, a sweatshirt on, which was like maybe not my best decision. Like, why didn't I put a sweatshirt on? Am I, not thinking clearly? I don't know, I usually wear a sweatshirt in the morning and I just didn't grab one. Sasha's ignoring my mental break. Becca, that's the first comment I've seen from you the whole day. So if you said anything else, it was filtered. That's literally the first thing I'm seeing. Did you say other things? You texted me. Literally hasn't come through because usually they pop down on the screen. Oh, you know what it is? I have Do Not Disturb on until 8:30 because that's usually when we start book club. So the alerts don't come until 8:30. That's why I can't see it. And the reason I started doing Do Not Disturb until 8:30 is because of my mother. I was having trouble sleeping because my mother would start texting me at all hours of the morning and it would make my phone buzz on the side table and it was driving me nuts. And so I told her, I said, if you don't stop, I'm gonna have to mute you in the mornings. And she wouldn't stop, so I muted everybody. I'm usually up anyway. Guys, I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, but I was reading and I don't like hearing the buzz, so, What happened, Becca? Wait, I thought you had it on D&D anyway. Yeah, I do. I do have it on D&D. I always have it on Do Not Disturb in the morning until 8:30. So if I don't have my phone in my hand, I can't see the text. So that's what it was. So I'm never ignoring anybody. I just usually can't see it. But I only started putting it on Do Not Disturb like maybe this time last year because she was texting me like crazy. And I was like, Mother, I love you, but I need you to wait until after book club for texts. Uh-oh. Hair tie, beans. Sophie, are you ready for our battle tonight? Sophie and my teams are up against each other in our fantasy football league tonight. We're going at it. I never answer your text. Amanda, don't lie to the people. Don't tell me you cut your hair, Becca. Bye, Liza. Becca, how are you ever going to have a conversation with Ellie about cutting her hair again? How are you going to justify telling your daughter that she can't do it when you just did it? She doesn't know. Well, she's going to figure it out. Well, I'm absolutely not ready. Hopefully I don't have any guys on buys. You can check in the thing if you have... I don't think anybody has a bye week 1, Sophie. That would be really weird, right? Like, why would anyone have off week 1? I don't think there are any ones. Maybe Amanda could correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, it was only a little bit? Okay. Well, as long as it wasn't enough where she can see. I don't know how much it was. I haven't seen it yet, Becca. You're going to have to send a picture. My quarterback is playing tonight. So is mine, Amanda, I think, right? Isn't Trevor Lawrence playing tonight, or am I crazy? He's my backup. No buys week 1. Yeah, I didn't think there were any buys week 1. Isn't Trevor Lawrence playing tonight? Pretty sure. No.
I immediately thought of that, Becca. The minute that you said scissors, I was like, how are we going to explain this to the girl child? The boy children won't notice. Mahomes and Jackson. Oh. Okay, well maybe Trevor's playing tomorrow because they do have an odd Friday game. I'm trying to find a cozy fall book for book club and nothing is sounding good. I was looking too, Sophie. Nothing was sounding right. Literally nothing. It's so weird. My hair tie's been dry and the ends were dead. Oh, well, that's not that bad. If you were just cutting off the ends, I mean, like, whatever. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did cut my bangs the other day. I don't know if you noticed that they're a little bit shorter. They were as long as my hair almost. And so I just kind of like, not this piece, ignore that piece. That's part of my actual hair that came out of the braid, but I like cut them back to like being bangs so that they could like have some life back in them. I think it's better. The Chiefs and Ravens tonight. I'm not sure who's playing tomorrow. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that there's a Friday game. I don't think I'll be able to watch all the games this week. It's just too much. We are going to watch tonight after so I'm gonna get on Roll for Slime After Dark early tonight so we can finish before the games. The Eagles and Packers are tomorrow. Got it. So I'll probably get on at like 4 today. We'll finish all the things, and then Secret Husband and his friends are gonna be at a local place here, and I will run over and meet them, and we will have food and watch the game like that. And hopefully I will beat Sophie. No offense, Sophie. It's not personal, you know. I have to win. It's like a thing. But yes, this week I am playing Sophie. Should you reschedule Roll for Slime? No, I don't think so. We don't have that many people today. I think we only have 3 or 4 people today. So I'll hop on at 4 and we'll get through them. Yes, Amanda, but you and I aren't playing each other, so that's fine. Everyone can win as long as they're not playing against me. What a terrible thing to say. All right, anyway, let's see how much we can get through of the book today because obviously we want to try to finish it. TikTok just told me you're live. I've only been live for a few minutes. Smack Talk is completely, yeah. Sophie, as long as we keep our Smack Talk loving and we're like, whenever it's not against each other, we still love each other, I think we're okay, right? We only Smack Talk when we're head to head. That's right. Jack, who are you against? Amanda, who are you and Jack against today? Or this week. I guess it's weekly, not daily. Daily would be too much if it changed daily. You're against Anya this week? Okay. I haven't seen her yet this morning, but I'm sure she'll have some fighting words for you when she gets here. So you're against Liz. I haven't seen Liz yet this morning in here either, but keep up the good fight. Keep up the good fight, you guys. I'm in support of everyone this week except for Sophie. And next week, Sophie, you can have my support back. Next week, somebody else and I will be in a battle. I don't know who yet. I have to look. I only have to have 1 enemy per week, which is great because I'm not really good at having enemies. So like it's hard for me to be like, I don't want you to win. Down with Sophie and her Shrek Swamp. Which sounds like I'm offending her by saying Shrek Swamp, but that's the name of her team. So it's not really offensive because she chose that name. Anyway, let's read and let's see how many chapters we can get through today. This chapter says it's 25 minutes long, so we can at least get through 2. This is chapter 11, and we're going to get going here. The hikers might have undergone something called paradox undammit, paradox undressing. I don't understand what that means. I'm just gonna let that one go because I don't really know what that means at all. Oh, it's a quote. Just kidding. Let's start. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me try that again. My bad. When a chapter starts with a quote and like there's this big letter, it like always confuses me. Don't shave your head, Becca. Don't shave your head, Becca. No. We haven't even started yet, right? I read a sentence and I flubbed it, so we're starting over. Because I don't know how to read, apparently. So you literally missed me flubbing the first sentence, and now we're gonna try it again. Hi. Let's rewind. This is chapter 11. We're gonna start chapter 11 now. Here we go. The hikers might have undergone something called paradox Paradoxical undressing. Why is that word so hard for me to say? Hayden fumbles yet again. My eyes rise from the script in my hands as Hayden circles a few words several times in red pen on his own script. My confrontation with Cade over the weekend is still fresh in my mind. It'd been hard to think ahead most of the day. At least when Nora came home, I had something to distract me. She let Lizzie have some out time where she wandered around the living room. That night, even Lizzie sensed my sadness. She gave me a weird lick, and I didn't like it, but I did appreciate her concern. For anyone who hasn't been here for other chapters, Lizzie is a lizard, so don't go thinking that, like, some person is licking her. It's a lizard. Yes, we smack talk, Ray. Pew, pew. Sophie's going down in her swamp. I don't know who you're up against this week, Ray, but I hope you win in your battle of the balls. Now back at work, I'm determined to channel that pain into one hell of an episode. The scroll recording booths are stiffly small space to be confined in all afternoon with the man who I woke up snuggling a few days before. I feel way too aware of Hayden's height and the steady calm his presence always brings as we stand next to one another in front of the raised mic. The room smells like him mixed with an elementary school computer lab full of warm static and the tang of metal. Paradoxical undressing, I say to him without a flaw. Maybe that should be your line. I'm obviously cursed today. I clear my throat. Behind me, Hayden leans against the padded walls, sliding the pen between his teeth as he studies the script. He's so focused that he doesn't know how long I've been watching him. The swell of his biceps beneath his flannel and the naturally amused shock of hair keep my eyes hanging on him longer than I care to admit. Can I improvise it? I ask. Yeah, go for it. As I speak, harsh feedback screeches through our headphones, making both of us jump. Hayden tosses his headphones off with a surprised "fuck!" and the pen flies into the air. He lowers the microphone's volume like they're all the controls on a nuclear reactor. It could have been Becca. What the hell was that? I remove my headphones too. I might have moved the computer too close to the mic. It's no big deal or anything. Hayden slides his headphones back over his ear and he jumps to the next part of the script, and I realize I can't hear him in my headphones. No, my headphones aren't working now, I inform him. He backs away again and toys with a few settings on the switchboard before returning over to me. He steps behind me and the heat rises in my cheeks as he adjusts the headphones over my ears. A swipe of a finger runs along the back of my neck, sending shivers all over my body, and his laugh comes as a soft puff of breath against my back. This shouldn't set me off like it does. I could question it further, but when he finishes adjusting the headphones, his hands rest on my shoulder and a thumb stroking the surface of my upper back. This is a sick game to play. His touch rushes to the pit of my stomach and lower. I scrunch my neck and sigh softly, leaning closer to him. His proximity is intoxicating, and my body wants more. I could do so many things to him in this soundproof booth. Well, can you hear me now? He says into the mic. His voice comes through the speakers so low, slightly raspy from the amount of talking we've done today. I want him so much closer and to hear his voice right beside my ear. Feeling him breathing on me, the rattle and the vibration of his words sends chills up and down my body. Yeah, I can hear you. Good. It's deep and intentional, and it makes my knees wobble. A single word in Hayden's sultry voice, and I have to unbutton the top of my shirt to cool myself down. As Hayden begins his next line, loud yelping bleeds into the room. He frowns through the window, and when I swing open the door, I'm not sure why I'm shocked to find Cade and the boys as a source of the chaos. I pull the door shut behind me. Instantly, Cade swings back with a smile. Oh, hey, Al. But there's certain anger behind his steely blue eyes over the fact that I still have not backed down from the show. Please, be quiet, I say. Oh, you working? No, I'm just sitting in a recording studio trying to meditate. I cross my arms. Yes, I'm working. Right, sorry. We wouldn't want to disturb your little ghosts. My little ghost show got 60,000 views last week. I know damn well his only got 55K. Cade rakes his hand through his beach blonde hair, pursing his lips. Well, you don't need to get so defensive. You can call my show by its name. The recording studio door swings open behind me, and suddenly an entire new fear arises. I don't want Hayden to know who Cade is to me. Cade would end everything good here with one single word. I can't bear the idea of Cade exerting his persuasion on Hayden, and I can't stand the unfounded fear that Hayden might just believe him. He's convinced everyone at Scroll that he can do no wrong for so many years. He's painted a harsh picture of me, and I can't control who buys that. Hayden's hand rests on the small of my back, and now I'm concerned for other reasons. I can't show Cade any of my cards, and I especially can't show him how into my co-host I am. It's information that he would do his worst with. Hi, Hayden says. I don't think we've met yet. I'm Hayden. Cade holds out a limp handshake, which Hayden accepts. Caden Brown, you must be the conspiracy theorist guy that Hallie picked up off Reddit. Hayden shrugs, leaning against the door frame, towering over Cade. Actually, I was on TV. Right. Cade rubs the fleshy colored stubble on his chin. It's funny, Hallie doesn't believe in any of this stuff, and I can't believe that this is the kind of show she'd do. You know that, right? Cade has obviously not watched any of our episodes. Yes, I'm well aware that young Hallie has a lot of learning to do here. Hayden's hand rests on my head, ruffling my blue waves, and I swat him away. We're working on it. Best of luck to you. That one's a handful. I'm sure Hayden's picturing quirky things like my exasperated yelling as he tells me I'm some absolutely batshit theory, or asking a Ouija board ghost if they were a virgin or not. Yep, when she's not provoking demons, she is a delight to work with, Hayden says, and Cade chuckles. He lowers his voice. I mean, man to man, Hallie was supposed to be my producer before I let her go. Chloe only let her make this show so that she didn't have to get fired. No one wanted to work with her otherwise. Not your fault. You didn't know any better. Hayden's jaw clenches and his eyes narrow. Cade's comment leaves me feeling like I'm going to explode. Cade's like a snake in more ways than one, and when he's threatened, he unleashes more poison. I have to swallow my tears, straighten up and avoid the eye contact, make myself small until this is all over. I visualize what will come next. Hayden and I will step back into the recording booth, and Hayden will ask me for an answer, as in, what the hell was that? And I'll be the one left alone again. I'll be without a show, and I'll be without a future at Scroll, and without one of my first real friends that I've found in the past few months. Hayden will have learned what I'm scared that everyone else thinks, that I'm hard to work with and I don't stand out. Instead, Hayden straightens up behind me. It's been going fine so far. In fact, we're busy prepping for our next episode, so we really don't have time to chat right now. No, of course. Good to meet you, dude. You know, it wasn't really that nice to meet you. Hayden's arm wraps around me and he shuttles me back into the booth. He lets out a disgruntled sigh and turns around. Well, that guy's a dick. Yeah, I nod slowly and divert my eyes. I used to save tears for the shower or the bathroom in the middle of the night, sometimes in my car. I'd save them for a place where no one else could see me. Hallie, he asks, his voice is so quiet and confused. Are you all right? I blink away my tears as best as I can, but a few slip down my cheek. No, I'm fine. I'm not prepared for his touch, and a soft thumb along the curve of my cheek, sweeping away a stray tear, tilts up my chin. I yank myself away, bending my knees to find the closest thing to a tissue in my purse. And as I dab at my eyes, the stool shifts behind me. Metal clangs against the microphones, and Hayden curses under his breath. When I turn around, he's made his way to the ground with me, and the booth is not made for anyone to sit on the floor, especially not someone Hayden's size. But he's trying to make it work. All right, who is he? My lip trembles. An ex. You dated him? There's no ire in Hayden's voice, not as he looks at me, hunting for parts of me that need care, or as he runs his hands down my arms. He keeps me steady in front of him. No matter how I feel, I know I'm not alone. He offers a warm smile and shakes his head. Oh, Hallie, you're so out of his league. I stifle a laugh. You can't listen to that guy, Hallie. He's a total a-hole. He had no right to speak to you like that. Besides, he's completely wrong anyway. There might always be a part of me that thinks Cade is right, no matter how far away from the pain I am. I would so much rather believe in Bigfoot or aliens than believe a word of what Cade says, but that's just not how this works. What people like Cade want most is to be able to hurt someone long after they're gone. I'm not really so sure about that, I concede. He knows what'll shake me. 3 years wasted just for him to tell me I wasn't funny and how I didn't stand out. I was stupid enough to get involved with him in the first place, stupid enough to stay as long as I did. It's Hayden with an H, yeah. Hallie, this is not your fault. Cade probably sensed your brilliance, and that you're funny and beautiful and great at your job, and he used those qualities, your qualities, to his advantage. I linger on one word, beautiful. I'm not sure if it brings me joy or if I should be chiding myself for falling for someone's pretty words all over again, but I can't find deceit or selfishness in any of Hayden's expressions. All I see is a desperation to make me smile and to fix this, to care for me.
I know what he did clearly hurt you, but he is so wrong. You're not hard to work with, and you do stand out. When you're around, it's impossible to look away. You're the only thing I see. He's an idiot for not knowing you make everything you touch better. So please, don't believe anything coming out of the mouth of a guy who still has frosted tips. I break into laughter and a few tears drip down my cheeks. Hayden reaches out, brushing his thumb beneath my eyes. In a matter of minutes, he's made this recording booth change from the scariest place on earth to the safest. Thanks.
Do you hear me? I nod. Before I can stop myself, I'm in his arms and my head is nestled in the crook of his shoulder. I clasp my fingers around his flannel shirt and I'm so soothed by the sound of his heartbeat. It's okay, he repeats, and his fingers wind into my hair and the scent of his cologne brings me back down to earth. It suddenly dawns on me why he brings me a sense of peace. Hayden's the sort of person who likes to take care of people. He's the kind of person who sees someone hurting and does something about it.
Do you want to keep recording?
He asks. I nod and I pull myself to my feet. We resume where we left off and Hayden spews terrible conspiracies, but when it's my turn to speak, I miss my cue. I look down at the script and I don't know if I can deliver these words today. I can't joke and tease with him when I feel so much fear in being seen.
Holly, he prods, we can call it for today. We can do double work tomorrow when you're feeling better. Because look, it's already late today.
I don't want to bust my ass tomorrow, but I don't want to put on a happy face either. Okay. He slips off his headphones.
Do you want to go do something else?
The sun's gone down by the time Hayden says we're close to our destination, and he doesn't offer any hints as to where we're headed, but I am more confused the further we go. Finally, he pulls into a small parking lot and steps out of the car. Where are we? He smiles and leads me across a small green space that opens to a playground. There are slides, climbing poles, a jumping bridge, and swings, and behind it, though, is a giant rocket ship. And I'm even more alarmed when Hayden approaches and slides into the base of it. We're going up there? We drove all this way to come to a playground.
Yep, come on. It's how the aliens will know how to get us.
He holds out a hand for me as I hop onto the platform with him, and I bite back a smile as I shimmy up the ladder first and wiggle through the holes that are meant for children until I reach the top. Behind me, I hear Hayden grunting and struggling to navigate the playground. He reaches me at the top, and one shoulder after another, he tugs himself through the hole and into the platform. He can hardly fit.
This is not meant for someone my size. He groans. Ow, ow.
Well, you don't say, I tease. And as he takes a seat, he hits my arm, knocking me over. Don't be mean. Hayden slides his legs through the bars and looks out into the city, legs dangling freely over the structure. The brisk March air hits me with a bite. We're closer to the water, catching the wind off the ocean. I shiver and I wish that I had taken my jacket from the back of the car. I hadn't expected we were going to spend time outside. Without saying anything, Hayden sheds his flannel and passes it over to me. Our fingers brush as I take it and slide it over my shoulders. It smells like him, and it feels like a huge hug that he gave me earlier. The sleeves come past my hands, and I bundle myself in them, which makes Hayden smile. Thanks, he nods. We sit in silence, letting the rush of cars on the freeway fill the air, distant honking, loud music blaring. I've always liked the rush of the city. Anything else is too quiet. I've never been one for camping or time outside in the wilderness. Our upcoming Bigfoot hunt is going to be a delight. I also hate bugs with a passion, and I've contemplated starting a last will and testament in case I die out there.
I'm sorry about today.
Hayden rubs his palms with his opposite hand, quiets. His eyes flicker up to mine, and the moon glints off the lenses of his glasses, illuminating the bright green eyes behind them. It's fine.
No, it's not really.
You defended me more than you needed to, and I appreciate that.
It's still sitting with me, though, Hayden says.
Why? Because the more you think about it, the more you wonder if he's right? I laugh, but it hurts.
No, because I know he's not right.
The tone feels the same as when he pushes back on his theories, arguing that, of course, aliens are real, or that I'm being closed-minded. The tone conveys inflexibility, stubbornness. He's not going to be talked out of this.
Hallie,
I see so many words on his lips, and all of them scare me.
I've been alone for a really long time.
Hayden starts, his voice quiet. The confidence from moments ago is gone.
About 3 years, to be exact. I think if I'd let more people near in the end of my dad's life, maybe I would have handled it better, but I was so used to keeping my feelings to myself. I never wanted my dad to know how much I was hurting. He blamed himself or want someone else to step in so I could breathe a little, so I just didn't.
I scoot closer to him and slide my legs through the bars too, my boots hitting the lower level, laces clinking against the metal of the playground. When he died, I didn't want to put that pain on anyone else, so I just left.
Left? I rented out the apartment that my dad and I lived in Boston, and I moved out here. I could have done a podcast from, I don't know, wherever. I didn't know anyone out here. My mom's in San Francisco, but I didn't want to turn to her either. I started fresh, by myself. The problem is, I never really started again. When you rebuild your life, you're supposed to grow into something new. I came out here with a podcast and a cat, and 2.5 years later, all I have is still a podcast and a cat. His voice breaks into a laugh that I match. You don't even have a podcast anymore. You have a web series now. Right. His smile feels bright, and for a moment I wonder if he's finally putting his pain somewhere, like he's decided to breathe again. I haven't made any friends, haven't really dated anyone. It scares me, so I've been staying the course and keeping every bit of grief at bay as best I can. Some of those days were so dark and my depression got so debilitating that even when I wanted to try letting people in, I didn't think that I deserved anyone to see me at my lowest, so I just never did. And then you emailed me. I lean my head against the bars and glance up at him. He matches my posture with a smile. Something told me this was a chance that I had to take, even if it scared me. He bites his lip. It might have been my psychiatrist at first, but I did make the choice on my own in the end. The sadness and the hurt are still there, but now it feels like something good is there too, and there hasn't been anything good in a really long time. I reach across the platform, my fingers skimming the holes in the tiles until I find his hand. I tread carefully, running my fingertips along the base of his wrist until our fingers weave together. Holding his hand is really easy. We fit together well. Touching him is a conscious choice, and despite my worst fears, falling for someone who could hurt me, dating another coworker, how Cade might respond to it, when he brushes his thumb against the back of my palm, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm sorry he hurt you and that he doesn't see how special you are, Holly. Everyone should be in awe of you like I am because you do deserve it. I'm really lucky that it was me you found and me you took a chance on. I squeeze his hand and I don't know what to say to him that can match what he's given me. After a moment, he pulls his feet out of the bars and scoots back, leaning on the platform ground. His eyes cast up at the sky, and I join him and trace my thumb over the UFO tattoo on his wrist. If he tells me he has feelings for me, I have no choice but to reciprocate. Anything else would be a blatant lie. I try to imagine the least sexy thing that I can. Alien probing, Loch Ness monster blubber, the skunk ape. But instead, I look at where our hands rest together, and all that comes to mind is what it would feel like if his hand were on other parts. I spend all of my days watching Hayden's hands, taking notes, editing audio, typing scripts, and running through his hair when he's stressed or confused or bewildered, and I want to watch him put his hands on me. Something light at first, the light stroke of a cheek, hands on my waist, then maybe more forceful. I want fistfuls of hair between my fingers and the feel of his stubble against my lips, my jaw, my neck. Like he can read my mind, he turns on his side, claiming a handful of his flannel on me and tugs me closer to him, and he holds me against him with a grip on my waist. His body's warm and firm where we connect, and our legs tangle together. Heat pools in my stomach as he leans closer. My eyes flutter shut as the plastic frames of his glasses leave a cool press against my forehead. I feel every breath he takes, and I count them. 1, 2, 3. At 4, I reach for what I want. His cheeks are rough beneath my touch, and the curve of his lip is soft and full, and I want to taste him and hear the sound he makes when I kiss him. I ponder if they'll sound like frustrated humps that he makes when something stumps him, or more like the heady breaths he lets out when he sleeps. My heart hammers in my chest, and he swallows, parting his lips. Hayden toys with the bottom of my shirt and brushes the sensitive skin at my hip. A soft gasp slips out and makes him smile. Things that I'm not going to say on TikTok, I freeze. No, I can't do this. No matter how badly my body wants him, from the ache that blooms in my chest to the tremble of my fingers as I lock into his soft hair, falling in love with someone is the scariest thing a person can do, and I know what happens when I fall for the wrong person. I want to believe that Hayden is the right type of person and safe to love, but I'm still afraid to trust him with the most fragile parts of me. I can't. He opens his eyes and pulls himself out of his own trance. He studies me carefully and tastes the phantom kiss on his lips. But instead of confusion, there's just understanding there. He sucks in a deep breath and nods. It's okay. I might not be able to kiss him like I want to, not yet, but I can't fathom pulling away from him. I weave myself closer and rest my head on his chest. He knows just what to do. His arms envelope me and keep me tighter against his body, and I fall completely, as hard as I'm falling for him. A plane races across the night sky. A UFO, I say. A plane, Hayden laughs, and it vibrates through my entire body. Oh, well, who's the non-believer now? Now we're to a script.
Out There, episode 4, Not Even REI Can Save You.
On this week's episode of The Out There, Hayden and Hallie investigate the Dyatlov Pass incident where 9 hikers died under mysterious circumstances in the Ural Mountains of Russia. Was it an avalanche? Was it government testing? Or was it the abominable snowman? Hayden. Let's go over how each of these hikers died.
Hallie, cheery, sounds good.
Hayden. 6 apparently died of hypothermia. The other 3, however, died of physical trauma, ranging from severe chest trauma to internal bleeding to a fatal skull injury. Some of those who died of hypothermia also had physical injuries and abrasions. 2 hikers were missing their eyes, and 1 was missing her tongue. Oh, and another one had missing eyebrows. The final conclusion prosecutors in the investigation came to was the cause of their demise was an overwhelming force which the hikers could not overcome.
Hallie. Wow, so they gave us absolutely nothing.
Hayden. Doesn't that make you raise your eyebrows just a little bit?
Hallie. Is that insensitive since one of them lost their eyebrows?
Hayden. See, you do listen sometimes.
Hallie. I was prepared to tap out when you started talking about the Yeti, to be fair.
Hayden. All right, there's some gravity to the Yeti theory, actually. For example, one of the hikers took a photo and there was a blurry, large figure looming in the background, and some people have theorized that they could have gotten a photo to prove their attacker. What I also have found interesting is the fact that the tent was ripped from the inside with a knife, and the way that the bodies were found does really make it seem like they were running from something, you know?
Hallie. Like a Yeti?
Hayden. Well, yeah. They were also in various states of undress, which gives a sense of panic.
Hallie. They were a bunch of college-age hikers. I don't think the scantily clad part necessarily has anything to do with the abominable snowman, Hayden.
Hayden. In Siberia, Hallie. You really think they were having tent beep boop in the middle of the tundra?
Hallie. Sharing body heat and all that? Like, what else are you gonna do up there?
Hayden. Is that what you would do if you were hiking the tundra?
Hallie. No, because there's no universe where I would be hiking in the middle of Siberia in the first place. You couldn't pay me enough to put on snowshoes or go camping.
Hayden. That sounds like a challenge.
Hallie. And the end of our friendship.
Very cute. Chapter 12.
I'm about halfway through reading a poorly formatted webpage ranking the most reputable Bigfoot videos on the internet when a horrible realization dawns on me. I think I've caught the plague.
There's one bit of footage. Hayden rambles, pacing in front of the TV, rubbing the bridge of his nose. I think it's from like Siberia or Canada. I don't know, someplace that's cold.
You don't even remember where it's from?
I know, that's embarrassing. I meant to be the professional here. Anyway, there are multiple Bigfoots walking across the screen, and for some reason, I find that very compelling.
He motions a little, walking with his feet with his fingers, and then slumps against the couch to begin to scour his computer again.
I should have bookmarked it. What kind of Sasquatcher am I?
We've been at this for hours, cataloging reference points for our upcoming trip, establishing an itinerary, and making travel arrangements. Our venture would take us to Fresno for one night because Hayden really needed to look for the Fresno night crawlers, even if we didn't make a full episode out of that, and then to San Jose to visit the Winchester Mystery House, and then 2 days way up north hunting for Bigfoot before we return home.
I know, right, Anya?
I think about a whole 5 days away with Hayden, and suddenly my stomach lurches. We almost kissed. I spent an entire hour resting against his body, watching the stars until the glue he applied to the places that Cade broke me dried. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm gonna read that again because I almost read it badly, or I did read it badly. We almost kissed, and I spent an hour resting against his body, watching the stars until the glue he applied to the places that Cade broke me dried. How are we supposed to avoid talking about the almost kiss for 5 whole days? We hardly have made it 3. Hayden has not mentioned it so far, and nothing's changed, but the way he looks at me is still there, and it bubbles furiously between us. There's a sense of attraction and longing that hasn't gone away. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to fight this off. Hayden hums the X-Files theme softly to himself, typing furiously at his laptop, and I don't like the idea of bailing, not when we're on such a good track.
It's not Siberia we're going to, it's Yellowstone, Hayden shouts.
As I shut my laptop and pack up, I cough like a 65-year-old smoker. Cthulhu looks up from his cat tree and hisses at me, and then Hayden pays attention.
Hey, don't be rude, man. He turns to me. Are you okay?
I must not look okay because his eyes flood with concern and he comes to my side. I think I'm gonna go home. I should be okay tomorrow. Hayden presses the back of my hand to his forehead.
Geez, Hallie, you're burning up.
Just Call me the Jonas Brothers. What? Never mind. I try to sniffle away the congestion in my nose and head, but to no avail. I have no idea how I'm going to drive all the way back to the valley, but I know I can't stay here. Do you need to take a nap? I can do that at home. I don't think you're in much shape to drive. Is Nora around? I shake my head. No, Nora went to an indie art festival with Jamie this weekend. I haven't heard from her in 24 hours. I think she died of boredom or something. She won't be much help. But yeah. You can rest here for a bit if you want. I don't really want to leave you alone at your apartment all weekend. It's okay. I'll be fine. When I'm sick, I'm used to staying out of the way, sniffling on as few things as I can, and waiting out the illness, or going to work anyway because I was up against deadlines and filming schedules. Really, if you want to rest, you can. I can get you home eventually. In your bed? Sure, it's clean. Does it smell like you? I ask. My God, delirium is beating me to the pulp at the moment. His brow furrows. I imagine it smells like me. Is that a selling point? I nod. Okay, you really must not be feeling well. I'm reassured by the soft laugh that Hayden lets out as he offers me his hand, and I climb off the couch with him. I'm so tired and achy, I hardly have time to register that Hayden's bed is probably in his room. In fact, there's a really good chance it's in his room. The door's always closed, but his room is wedged between the kitchen and the bathroom, and I'm not sure what to expect. Hayden keeps so much of himself guarded and behind a shield. This feels like an unarmed version of himself that I might not have the right to yet. But he doesn't seem to mind. Not as I follow after him in a sad flurry of sniffles, and for the first time I think about the fact that I might be getting him sick too. What if we both can't film? We don't have the time to delay. I'm gonna have to drug myself into oblivion on Dayquil to be able to film in a few days. At least if I'm a sick mess, Hayden can go on without me. By now, I'm sure he's figured out how to command attention just a little bit easier, and then I worry that maybe I'm gonna be too high on cold medicine, and it will make me start believing in things like the Jersey Devil. I don't know if that's a risk I'm willing to take. My Roman Empire in books is when... Oh, that's so cute. Well, it seems like it's happening now, Naisa. We got that. You're right. He pushes the door open, giving a quick peek to evaluate the condition of his room, and when it passes his assessment, he invites me in. The back wall is exposed with a few pieces of art hammered into it. A simple black frame bed takes up the middle of the room with an IKEA nightstand on either side of it. The room smells of clean laundry and an earthy musk I can attribute to the essential oil diffuser puffing happily in the corner. It's nice, I say. Hayden's already ushering me toward his bed where I plop onto the comforter. It's black and very, very soft to the touch. Really, I am okay. The last thing I want is to owe someone. It could come up when Hayden and I disagree on a creative choice if we need to cut something he cared about. I'd lose any leverage that I had. But when I try to imagine words, I can't hear them in Hayden's voice. I can't imagine him saying words that would hurt me. Not after our talk on the rocket ship. Not from the guy who told me that I was the first good thing in his life in years. I unlace my shoes and drop them beside the bed, crawling under the comforter cocoon that he holds open for me like I'm a sad caterpillar. My head sinks against his pillow, and it does smell like him. In minutes, I'm going to infect every thread of his bedding with the plague. But for now, with what ability I have left to smell, I breathe in the warm, woodsy scent enveloping me, and Hayden drapes the blanket over me with an amused huff. Are you good? He asks. I nod. Okay, I'm gonna keep working, but you let me know if you need anything. I'll be right outside. I'm nearly asleep by the time the bedroom door shuts. When I wake up again, it's dark outside, and the lights of downtown LA are glimmering through Hayden's solitary bedroom window. Now the room smells of cool eucalyptus, and I'm not sure if I feel better or worse, but I am warm and a little sweaty, and I make a mental note to offer to wash all of Hayden's bedding for him. My eyes, heavy, drag across the room, taking a closer survey now that I'm alone. I register a reusable water bottle with various cryptid stickers, a contact lens case, a daily pill organizer. Behind the mild clutter is a small cork board tacked with photos and mementos, badges from a convention, a flying saucer newspaper clipping, and a strip of photo booth photos. I look for any glimpses into Hayden different than the Hayden that I know now, someone who lives behind the mic, the glasses, and the shaggy hair. I choke on a cough before I can think any more on it, and this summons Hayden. I think about getting out of this bed, and I want to slump on the floor like I was made of flubber. I think about getting into my car and driving myself home, and Did you guys see that? Is it an alien abduction? Am I about to get taken? You saw that, right? It's like a flash of light in the middle of the day. That was weird. I instantly visualize my car wrapped around a palm tree. A flash of light from the living room burns the corners of my vision, and I whimper into the pillow.
Good morning, he whispers, kneeling beside the bed, his weight shifting the mattress. It's nighttime. Yeah, it is. The speed in which your head turned was, well, it was right there. It just like, it did a thing. It is nighttime. How do you feel? My eyes flutter open. A person's face has never made me feel better like his does. I see so little of Hayden off duty, and I wonder what he looks like cooking dinner for himself, or if he lies in his bed for hours watching videos of cryptids online, mentally debunking every single one of them. I want to know that side of him too. I sniffle, tucking the corners around my body tighter. Ugh, I really want to take off my bra, but I already overstayed my welcome. Yeah, it would really not be great if I got abducted by aliens right now. I don't need that, yeah. I'm okay. You said that before too, he chides, but then you slept for 6 hours. Oh, 6 hours, I slur. The smile teasing his lips indicates that he's not mad or trying to kick me out. I feel shitty, I confess. Yeah, I thought so. Come here. He brandishes a thermometer in my direction. Open up. I oblige and slide the thermometer under my tongue, and when it beeps, he draws it away and his eyebrows raise. Oof, 102. That's bad. It's pretty bad. I think I got the plague, I say. I don't think it's the plague. If I had to guess, it's probably the flu. His hand brushes against the side of my face, and he feels so cold. I shiver and let out a sad moan. Fever, chills, some body aches. I nod and sniffle. Think you can sit up a little? I push myself onto my elbows, and my brain feels like it will melt out of my ears, and suddenly I'm freezing again. As I go to slide out of his bed, he stops me. One hand catches my leg, and a brush of cool fingers are against my thigh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just enough to sit up and eat. You don't have to get out of bed. But I do. I don't know how to explain to him that I cannot be a burden, and yet something in the soft tone of his voice makes me question if I need to even explain that to him. Is this what people are supposed to do when they care about you? I blink at him a few times and he disappears into the kitchen, holding his hands in a stay here gesture like I'm a poorly trained puppy. It takes a few minutes, but he returns with a bowl of steamy soup and passes it to me. And even though the chicken noodle soup is clearly out of a can, it's one of the nicest things someone's done for me in a long while. It's up there with Nora offering to sacrifice her liver as we downed a bottle of wine and watch reality TV whenever I have a bad day. I wordlessly slurp at the soup until the bowl is finished, and then Hayden stays the whole time, taking notes on his phone and doing research. I don't want to get you sick either, I whisper. I'll take extra Flintstone vitamins tomorrow, don't worry about it. Hayden takes the bowl from me and puts it in the kitchen. When he returns, he has a bottle of NyQuil in hand. Here. I frown. You're trying to drug me. With love, though. Love. Okay, then. Nevertheless, I take the cup of NyQuil from him, and as I'm close to tossing it back like it's tequila at a frat house basement, okay, then. Nevertheless, I take the cup of NyQuil from him, and as I'm close to tossing it back like it's tequila at a frat house basement. Back yet? They're insufferable, these people. Sorry, is it back? These insufferable people won't stop calling during book club. I don't understand what's wrong with them. I need to block that number. Nevertheless, I take, but we already read that. It smells like Vicks Vapor Rub and death, and I smell like Vicks Vapor Rub and death. Oh no, Hayden mutters and carefully reaches over me, plucking the cup off of his comforter and settling it on the nightstand. Thankfully, I haven't gotten medicine all over his bed. The bed he still needs to sleep in tonight. My bottom lip trembles a little. I'm sticky and sick, so naturally I start crying. Thankfully, it isn't the first time Hayden's seen me cry, but it's far more embarrassing than the last time. I'm sweaty, my hair's a mess, and now I'm covered in blue, cold medicine goo. Come here, Hayden instructs, rising from the bed and extending his hand. My sticky fingers slip between his, and we reach his bathroom. He quickly takes out a washcloth and dampens it. I sit on the toilet seat, still frowning and still crying. Hayden crouches, barely fitting the scant space between the toilet and the sink. I can hardly smell the musky amber of his cologne through my snotty nose, so I register everything else about him as he dabs at my cheek. On good days, he reminds me of spring mornings, bright and vibrant. Sometimes when we're up late, they darken into a deep forest of endless evergreens, and now we're somewhere in the middle. It's a soft sage with these notes of brown, and it reminds me of cozy coffee shops, rain as it clears, and a sharp breeze between the tree branches. Your bathroom's really clean. Jesus, I've been saying dumb shit to him all day, but the bemused look on his face tells me he doesn't care, that perhaps maybe he likes it? Is it not usually? No, I say, you're an anomalous man. Lots of guys don't even have toilet paper.
Every one of his touches is so gentle it makes me shake like a leaf. There are even like extra rolls in your linen closet. Wait, sorry, this is him. I even have extra rolls in the linen closet. You have a linen closet? I whisper. I sure do. He whispers back, but don't tell anyone. I run a hand through my hair, catching sticky handfuls of NyQuil. Oh, shoot, sorry. The tears don't come, but I try to shake off the stickiness and it doesn't work. He reaches for my hand, holding it carefully, wiping each finger, polishing me like a work of art. No one has ever been this careful with me, and I'm sure my parents probably were, especially when I was a baby and it was important not to drop me on my head. But as an adult, no, never. I try not to think of myself as fragile, but I like how Hayden cares enough to mind if I break. Do you want to wash your hair? You can shower if you want to. I want to wash my hair, but I don't want to stand up, and I don't want to be naked. That would be weird. And then I'm magically thinking about him naked. I know enough about his body that my imagination can fill in the rest. I visualize soap slooshing around every curve of his muscles and racing down his arms over intricate ink in his chest and his stomach. I jolt out of my fever dream shower jail. When he pushes open the shower curtain, I brace myself horrifying beard shavings or soap bars melded into the porcelain, but it's a relatively inoffensive bathtub shower combo. As a shower caddy hangs over the head, I don't have time to survey his products before he guides me into the side of the tub. You stay right here. Hayden returns a moment later with a few throw pillows, stacking them on top of one another and patting them for me to sit. I wobble, but steady as he leans me against the edge of the tub. What are you doing? I'm helping you wash your hair. Oh no, the lip tremble returns. You don't have to do that. Are you sticky? I nod. Are you sad? Another nod. Then how about you let me help you? It'll take like 5 minutes. I lean over the tub as he runs the water, and when it's warm, he cups a scoop in his hand and pours it over my hair, and then another and another, until my hair is fully damp. We could call it a day there, but that isn't sufficient to Hayden, not as he stands and reaches for the shampoo from his caddy. I'm going to be using a man's shampoo, I mutter. What does that mean? He laughs. I smell like something tough and manly like cinder blocks. What? My eyes open and Hayden's right beside me, sleeves rolled up, and watch discarded onto the sink. God, he is so handsome that it concerns me. He's 6 foot, very much of niceness, charming quirks, and he might find them embarrassing, but I think about them long after I've left his apartment each day. I catch a scruff hidden dimple, revealing that no matter how plague-addled I sound, he still wants to hear what I have to say. Never mind, I say anyway. I'm afraid I'm out of cinder block scented shampoo, so he looks down at the bottle. Crisp forest will have to do. I mean, it's no lemon verbena. He flicks a small splash of water at me, and I shut my eyes as he squeezes the shampoo into his hand and begins to lather it through my hair. He keeps one hand at the base of my head supporting my neck, while the other weaves into deep blue waves and traces circles on my scalp. I feel everything about him with a delirious intensity, and all I know is that NyQuil has nothing on the careful way that Hayden massages shampoo into my hair. A soft press of his fingers, and even softer drag of his nails against my scalp. His breathing is deafening, and he lulls me at the same time. You know, you could just dunk me. It's only fair for all the dunking I do on your theories, I say. That's also how I'm gonna get fired. That's not true. I can't fire you. Besides, I need you. Come on. There's no other weirdos on the internet that you'd prefer to work with? No, I respond all too fast. It makes his eyebrows rise as he stops shampooing my hair. Trust me, I correct. We need each other, he says. I nod slowly, and Hayden chews on his lower lips, drawing my eyes there. I imagine the taste of him comes with a prickly bite of his beard and samples of his heady sighs from the back of his throat. Everything about him screams safety. Someone who didn't care, wouldn't offer me his bed, make me soup, or wash my hair when I've poured cold medicine into it. He's had so many chances to hurt me or hold things against me, but instead he just keeps giving me more. His focus shifts back to my hair, fingers kneading circles against my scalp again, back and forth, round and round, like he's learning each inch of me because he wants to. My watch sends me a high heart rate notification and a soft buzz at my wrist. If questioned, I'll say that it's the fever working its way through me, but I know it's the soft touch of his fingertips against my neck and the way he's looking at me. Hayden's stare lingers on me for another long breath-snatching moment before he clears his throat and reaches across the tub to turn on the faucet again. He takes gentle scoops of water to rinse the shampoo out of my hair. What is your natural hair color? I have eyebrows, don't I? Hayden rolls his eyes. Yeah, but I know people with blonde hair who have brown eyebrows. Do I seem like a blonde to you? He remains silent. Oh, are blondes your type? I am an embarrassment. Absolute buffoonery. Bold question from a non-believer. He laughs. Rest assured, you're the only woman in my life right now. A smile tugs at his lips like he's trying to reveal something to me in the gentlest way he can, and yet it crashes into me like a train. Obviously, he likes me. He wouldn't have nearly kissed me if he didn't. But to say it, it'd back up all the action. It would have no way to disbelieve him. What he does and what he says are so aligned. Unless you count the Loch Ness Monster, she's there too. I break into a laugh, and I'm grateful that he's going to ruin the moment so that I don't have to. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, so much. You tell me that all the time, he says. And by the time we stop laughing, he rinses the shampoo out of my hair and grabs a towel. I wrap it around my hair and sit against the wall of the tub with him. Our shoulders brush, and he looks like he's physically restraining his hands. I wish that he weren't. I want them all over me, and it's easy to see Hayden as a normal, okay, well, kind of normal, man who is my friend, who takes care of me, and the kind of person that I could fall in love with. But if this gets messy, if it all falls apart, I lose him and my job at the same time. He holds too much in his hands for me to let them wander all over my body like I want them to, and I'm suddenly not afraid to lose just my job. I'd be terrified to lose him too. I study the brush of his tongue along the inside of his lips and lean closer when his thumb rums along the slant of my jaw. My God, he wants to kiss me so bad that he's willing to risk catching the plague. So I break the unbearable silence by fake coughing, and then it turns into real coughing, which hurts, and I whimper into the bend of my elbow. Hayden stands and extends a hand to me, and in his room he offers me another dose of NyQuil that I do not spill on myself this time. I could stay on the couch, I murmur. No, you can't. Oh, Cthulhu might eat you. Where are you going to sleep? The couch. Cthulhu might eat you, I say. No. He won't eat me. I'm his human. Right. I'm going to change it to something more comfortable, and the room's all yours. As he rifles through his singular IKEA dresser, I pipe up. The NyQuil's beginning to hit me, and the menthol haze of it all, I want Hayden's warmth next to me to know that he's right there. If he leaves, I'm going to spend hours thinking about him on the couch and pictured him curl up with his cat in cute pajama bottoms the way that makes me feel so fuzzy. Can you just stay? He turns. Stay? Here? I don't want to kick you out of your bed. I don't mind. His gaze softens. Yeah, I can stay. Just give me a second. He dips out of the room and returns a few minutes later with another pair of patterned pajama pants, these ones with dinosaurs on them. I hate how cute it is. And when he takes the other side of the bed and stretches out, the bottom of his t-shirt lifts up, exposing a thin strip of skin and the waistband of his boxers. On one side of his pale body is untouched, and the other side is covered in dark, wiry ink leading beneath his pants, and he smells like minty toothpaste and plain face wash, and years come off his face when he removes his glasses. As a coughing fit shakes me and tears in my throat, I grasp for comfort. Hayden doesn't object when I choose him. I let out a sad sniffle as choking stops, and he drapes his arm down my back, an affirmation that he wants me to move closer. I pick up my head, and my vision is blurry. We're on equal footing. Thank you, I say. For? The fact that he has to ask for taking care of me? He wouldn't do it if he didn't care, and he tried to kiss me, and I said no, and he still wanted to wash my hair and offer me his bed in sickness. He's still there, nothing has changed, except for maybe the way that I feel so much less scared to hand over my heart. Yeah, of course. I took care of my dad for 5 years. I think I can handle the flu. Sure, but come on. Everyone deserves someone to take care of them when they're sick. I struggle out a laugh and shake my head. No one's done this for me in a long while, like not since I was a kid. So, thanks. No. Good nights? No one to make you soup or give you cold medicine? He gapes. Who's been taking care of you this whole time? Me? But I wonder the same about him. Who's been taking care of him when he's taking care of everyone else? Is there anyone that Hayden can turn to when he needs help? Well, you could consider yourself off duty for a little while, Hayden murmurs. There's such simplicity to those words, but they make me confident enough to clutch his t-shirt harder, tug myself closer, and shut my eyes. It makes him confident enough to hold me back and turn on his side. Oh, wake me up if you need anything, he says. I want to melt, and so I do, into him. I don't need much more than the sound of his breathing, the soft brush of his fingers against the small of my back, and the way his head rests on the top of mine. I drift off to sleep. It's an almost snuggle, like an almost kiss at the top of my hair, an almost admission, and it makes me think I'm almost brave enough to do something about it. Ah. Dun dun dun. Very cute. We're almost at the 50% mark, you guys, so we're rocking and rolling. Very good, very good. It's very sweet. But how are they gonna go Bigfoot hunting if she's sick, you guys? Terrible. All right, I got to skadooch because I got to pack those orders from last night, get them to the post office, and then get ready for Roll for Slime tonight. So I will see you all later. Roll for Slime will probably start at, you do, Sophie? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I'll be on at 4. The link will be on Patreon just before that, and it's After Dark. We have new After Dark charms again, which is very exciting, and I actually have a lot of new Halloween stuff that I can show you guys and everything. So it's gonna be a lot of fun tonight. Be there or be square, and I will see you guys later. Bye guys.